Hello and welcome to Surprise and Delight, how gifting generates gratitude and revenue. We are so excited you are joining us today. As you go ahead and start coming into the online training, just go ahead and drop in the chat where you are joining us from. Leslie, where are you joining us from today?
I am in San Bruno, California, right by the airport in San Francisco.
Well, I am all the way over in Indianapolis, so opposite sides of the country, but still very excited to talk about how you can start to send gifts that will help generate revenue and gratitude from your customers. I see we've got Leah joining us from Dallas. I've got a couple more people joining in. We had quite a few that had registered, so very excited about that. And really, I think that this training is perfectly timed. I mean, it is November. Gratitude is in the air. I don't know about you. Probably not over in California. In Indianapolis, it has gotten cold, so it is no longer fall, y'all. It is now just becoming winter, and that's so with that, I like to start it at 2:02. Gives people a little bit of time. It's finally fall, says Rachel. So you're Rachel, I think you're probably getting into the Thanksgiving spirit. And really that's the goal of today, is how can we start to be thankful and share gratitude for our existing customers. So very excited. It is 2:02. So Leslie, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, sounds good. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Leslie Barrett, Senior Manager of Customer Advocacy at Sendoso. I'm really excited to tell you guys all about how gifting generates gratitude and revenue today. So we're going to go into a little bit about Sendoso. I'll go into a few features that we offer that are just absolute game changers for all users, but especially customer marketers and advocacy marketers. Then I'll go into some of my own use cases and successes from my customer advocacy programs. We'll touch a little bit on NPS, customer events, and then I'll throw it back over to Mason to show you how to set up scalable sending in HubSpot. All right, Sendoso, who are we? We are the leading sending platform that delivers modern direct mail, personalized gifts, e-gifts, and other physical impressions at scale. So we are all about building stronger, deeper, and more trusted relationships. So because our platform is so flexible and integrates with your tech stack, your time to value is immediate. So Sendoso is the only platform that includes multiple sending categories in one, so including direct mail, turnkey gifts, branded merchandise, and virtual experiences. So your team can start sending right away, especially those e-gifts, like first week of implementation, send them off. So understanding your customer's behavior and knowing when to reach out and what to reach out with will create a much better experience for your customers. So here are some of the ways that we're sending across the customer journey. As if you think about it, it's like more important than ever to humanize your approach and stand out and build relationships with your customer base. So some points here across the customer lifecycle. Let's start with onboarding. A successful onboarding, I think, is key to product adoption and retention. So sending a welcome kit with some branded swag and educational materials, I think, has become like pretty table stakes, so that customers can become excited to get started with your company. Something that's not in here that's like really good is QBRs. So incentivizing customers to show up to those meetings, right? With like a coffee or lunch e-gift before the meeting, right? It has shown to increase those show rates and just appreciation, gratitude for their time, right? Let's skip on over, let's go to pre-renewal, or to encourage early renewal. This could be really fun, right? So this is where you could do a fun 2-part send. So sending some branded champagne flutes to toast to their renewal coming up. But then once they close the deal, you can go ahead and send them the actual champagne bottle. So there's so many options. That's just one that I can think of, but our customers are doing some pretty awesome things around that. It just really depends on who you're sending to, and then most importantly, your message. So the first game-changing feature I wanted to tell you about, given that most professionals are working from home now, is address confirmation. So with Sendoso, you're able to secure home and work addresses for your recipients around the world. It's crazy. Because the home addresses is not saved. It's only used for that one-time send. Recipients feel comfortable providing their personal information. Okay, let's get into some customer marketing use cases. So I'm just going to start with a bang here. Okay, so customer advisory boards are big for customer marketers. Usually they are in person and they are so much fun because you're meeting these customers sometimes for the first time, and it's like a really fun experience for everyone. Well, they should be fun, right? Creating an experience is pretty hard to do that virtually, but I believe that Sendoso does this well, and I did it great with this one. So registrants received a custom box, postcard, branded bag of whole bean coffee, and a branded Ember mug, which everyone went crazy for. If you don't know what an Ember mug is, Google it, get yourself that on your Christmas list. Everyone loves those. And then that is a auction paddle there. So after the product team went into the roadmap during the event, we gave our members the chance to bid on one of those features to be built the following quarter, right? So I hired a real auctioneer to auction off the features, and it was hilarious. It was just watching everybody just smiling, cracking up, like that was all worth everything I spent on it. It was a really, really fun time. I mean, he was just doing his thing, right? Like $70, only $100, like it, who does that? So it was just really fun. So I saw some great results. 90% in, attendance rate, thanks to that bundle right there. How can you say no to that? Because the paddle, right? So intriguing. It's like, what is this for? And on the back of those paddles, they had, everybody had their own individual numbers, right? So that when they were raising their paddle, the auctioneer could call them out. So fun. And then, of course, love to present on my upsell number here. So 120K in upsells after this event. So it's very fun, very successful. Okay, so surprise and delight programs. As customer marketers, we often run these. I like to send a birthday gift, and I'll show you a little later how I capture that information. But before COVID, I was sending an actual physical birthday card with a physical Starbucks card, so they could enjoy like a cake pop or a coffee on Sendoso for their birthday. It just made them feel really nice. It was always well received because, like, who gets birthday cards anymore except from like your grandma or your mom or something like that. So to have something land on your desk was really fun. So then during COVID, I pivoted to Sendoso Choice, which is a Sendoso landing page that offers the customer up to 10 different e-gifts to choose from. So I personally think 10 is overkill. 2 is too few, and I think 4 is perfect, as you're seeing on this slide right now. So the great thing about Sendoso Choice is that you can select a charity choice as an option for those who cannot accept gifts or want to donate to a great cause for their birthday, because a lot of people want to do that. Now, it's very hard to determine all that goes into sourcing, influencing, and closing deals, but data has shown from this touch that it has influenced 37 opportunities and sourced 30K in upsells from marketers wanting to add more people to the platform after receiving their birthday gift. Now, what does this cost me? I mean, a birthday card, I think it was like $7, and then the $5 physical gift card. And then with the Sendoso Choice, it's $20. And I'm sending this to my advocates, not to the entire customer base, but hey, if your budget's that big, go ahead. All right, Net Promoter Score. Who loves it? I do. It's the first thing I set up when I build customer marketing from the ground up at any company. Not only does it give the rest of the company a pulse on your customers, but it's your pipeline of advocates. It's potential case studies, reviews, and so forth. So if you have NPS at your company, but you're not really sure like where it sits, go find out who it sits with and just tie yourself to that program because it's fantastic. So we automate emails based on score. So let's talk about gifting by response. So if they are an 8, 9, or 10 promoter, then we trigger an email asking them to do a review, G2, Trust Radius, Gartner, the next day. So if they have a score, and I'll get more into that on the next slide. If they have a score of 7, or maybe you can even do this play with your red, yellow, green, like your yellow risk score, then it's the perfect time to send branded swag to stay top of mind. So just think, like, if you're on the fence about something, you're like, yeah, sure, it's fine, I like it. Either way, I don't care. If you're on the fence about something, and then days later you receive something in the mail that like makes you feel excited, then I am sure that that positive brand experience will help the next time that survey reaches them. So you could either let them slip into the red, but why not just like push them over into the green with a send? And lastly, we offer our detractors a 15-minute Amazon e-gift to get on the call with us. Now listen, these people are engaged, whether you believe it or not. They opened your email. I mean, half of the people don't even do that. They read the question and they selected a number and then may have even given you a comment. Like, what? These people, let's get them on a call. Let's try to get ahead of the churn and then reward them for their time with an e-gift.
Also, just to throw this in there real quick, regarding HubSpot, HubSpot makes it super easy to send out NPS surveys. So we'll, again, jump into HubSpot a little bit later on, but if you're not doing that right now, super easy to set up and a great way to get a pulse on who you can start sending to.
For sure. Okay, so more on reviews as promised. So G2, Trust Radius, Gartner, Captivate, there's one of them. I don't actually participate in that one, but these are my 3. So it seems like reviews are a never-ending program, right? For customer marketers, it's like, okay, gotta get another badge, gotta get another reward. So Sendoso makes it pretty great to execute. So my secret to success is to offer a Sendoso choice, right? That landing page of the options, and actually put the image of the 4 gift card options inside of the email, right? So what happens is it creates FOMO. Something happens to their brain. They're like, oh my God, I wanted that thing from Nordstrom's and that's one of the options. I have to get that. I have to get it. They're going to run out before I don't do my review. So they really drop everything and they'll go ahead and do the review quick. I was able to get 90 reviews in a few days' time. And from that, I was able to touch $450,000 in closed one new business. Now, how do I know that? That seems a little crazy. But this is also just a tip to any of you customer marketers out there to go work with product marketing and create a survey that goes out to customers who just signed a deal, closed one survey, right? And ask them specifically in the survey, which of the following did you rely on to make your decision? I don't think I could get any clearer with this question. It's straight from the horse's mouth. And as you can see, 18% of those folks, after I generated those 90 reviews, said they relied on the reviews to make their decision. Okay. Then you add up the ARR from those accounts from when I launched the survey, and there you go.
Wow.
Right? So much fun. I love data. Okay. All right, here at Sendoso, I also run our award program that we are very proud of. It's called the Sendy Awards, like the Dundee Awards, huh? Any Office fans out there? So nominations were in June, and we selected our winners and had an event in August. So just think about that. June to August, 7 awards and an event planning. It's crazy. Okay, so it showcased 7 innovative sending campaigns, as well as highlighted the sender and their marketing team. So we sent a branded OGO backpack with some goodies, along with the actual award inside of the backpack, all wrapped up nice and tight. We've seen some awesome results, both in revenue and engagement. The reason I'm highlighting this program is because 7 case studies and an event, very hard to execute in 2 months. So I believe that Sendoso really moved the needle in that tight time frame. So the case study process is hard. If you guys are customer marketers on here, I'm sure you're raising your hand, like getting people to move on those case studies is pretty difficult. So at Sendoso, we are gifting along the case study process, right? So after the first discovery call to create the first draft, they're getting dinner on us. So an e-gift for their time. Now, once the first draft is created, like I get so excited, and I think that these people are going to get excited too. So I'm like, oh my God, your first draft is here. And then it's like crickets. Like no one is as excited as us. And so what it does is like sits in their inbox for a while. But we believe that the secret to success there is incentivizing folks to read and make edits on those first and second drafts. So instead of saying like, here's your first draft, please take a look when you can, we're saying like, we're so excited to share with you on your first draft of your case study. And we can't wait to send you something from my favorite bakery or send you a swag bomb when you make your edits, right? So it's incentivizing them to read and make their edits because they want the next step of the gifting journey. And so whatever the send is, tip is to put a picture of it in that email to create, again, that FOMO, like, oh my God, I don't want her to run out. I better do this fast. So I don't think I could have hit that 2-month time frame without incentivizing through Sendoso. And that's not just through when I'm doing these award programs, it's the case study process for all of our content. Okay, virtual experiences. I'm sure a lot of you are trying to just keep topping your virtual experiences in like this hybrid world and all that stuff. So Sendoso makes it so fun and so easy. So we offer our experiences for our customers that are able to plan and take part in these like fun and engaging events. They're a great way to connect, obviously, with prospects and your customers, and even like your own team members with employees and stuff. Like we're constantly having like these parties. So Sendoso has 3 strategic partners: In Good Taste, Purple Cork, and a Marco experience. So during COVID, we ran a number of these programs. We hosted AMAs and virtual happy hours across different time zones. We sent cocktail kits, and we had our Sendoso C-levels like act as the bartenders. So that was always fun. They make the cocktails before the presentation starts, just kind of like loose everybody up. And if they signed up too late to guarantee the delivery of the cocktail kit, then we sent them a wine.com e-gift. We used address confirmation for the cocktail kits and saw some amazing response rates, which you see below here. So for my advocates, we had a June launch. And well, it was for all of our customers, right? But I created for my advocates a June launch event where I created a webinar with a Marco experience, and I selected the magic show. Okay. And I called it The Magic of Sendoso and Beyond. And we showcased all the magical new features coming out, and then got into like this exclusive, crazy magic show where like David Blaine style, everybody is just freaking out. I'm sure they thought about it for like a week after. It was like jaw-dropping tricks. It was crazy. Highly recommended. Tomorrow, I'm hosting my annual Sensgiving for my advocates, and we're going to be going into new features that were just released. Like Sendoso is constantly coming out with enhancements and new features that it seems like we could have these launch parties like every single month, twice a month sometimes. And so we do trivia this year. So I've been with Sendoso 3 years. So it is our annual trivia party. So it's fun. Anyway, we love our event results. They never disappoint. The cocktail kit send 87% response rate. wine.com as a backup, 82% response rate. The magic show had a 51 attendance rate. Hey, it was during COVID. I think I could do better on the attendance rate, but hey, 51's great. And I really wanted to be transparent in all of my results with you. I am working on that attendance rate by using Sendoso. All right. So I know, crazy. So lots of, tips and going through all of these events with my customers, like best practices, like what can you do? Like registration with using a Sendoso Touch, chef's kiss, bunch of registrations. And then having everybody show up could always be, a different case. So just putting out there that you're going to, always have, games and contests during the event, and saying that you could win this mystery swag bomb, or, whatever the seasonal thing is, and just like, and offering those like 3 times during the event to like stay engaged, or say the first 100 that show up are going to get, this e-gift. Even like the first 10 that post in the chat will receive, the Kara's cupcakes or something like that. So you're able not to just get registration and attendance rate, but also engagement rate during the experience, and which I learned from that magic show, right? And then, hey, attendance rate is great. It warranted, 161K in upsell after that. So couldn't have been happier. It was an expensive show, but I still saw some great ROI with that. All right, let's get into some customer advocacy use cases. Okay, so I mentioned like, how do I get everybody's birthdays or shoe size or shirt size and everything like that? I interview all of my advocates. Well, I used to. Okay, let's back up. Okay, when I first started the program, I could interview everybody. And then it's just started to like scale and take off and become this like crazy beast of a program, which I love. And, I needed to hire someone and really have grown it. So to scale, I put a survey in place that finds out what really motivates them to be an advocate, as well as like, what do they actually like? Food allergies, are you a coffee lover, wine lover? So once they do an advocacy act, I'm able to gift them with the things that they actually love, and creating that like deeper relationship. There's people, they say, I love cats. I send them some cat socks, and they're like just my best friend, and we bond, and it's really great. And then if you tie this back to the case study process that I was just talking about, so if you get them into your advocate program, the moment they agree to do your case study and then this survey goes out, then you'll know exactly what to gift them, ensuring a reduced time to publishing that story, because you are seriously nailing this end. So let's talk about my welcome gift for my advocates. To receive it, they go to a Marketo landing page. You can easily do this with HubSpot, where they fill out the form with their address and their shirt size, which then is triggered through Sendoso. So game-changing integration right there. So I will never send a welcome box manually again. And what you think manually is like packing up a box and going over to FedEx. No, that's gone are those days. That was like 4 years ago. I used to push buttons in Sendoso and send it on its way. Now I do nothing. They fill out the form. It gets triggered through Sendoso. Bye-bye. So it's been, I can never go back. So anyway, again, there's so many things that go into closing a renewal or an upsell, but we have determined that this bundle has influenced 46 deals so far this year, for a total of 241K in closed won revenue, as well as 18K in upsells. And so still, that's a 26% ROI. And okay, can I make a point here? You don't always have to, this was the actual send, right? This was like a $70 bundle. We spent more money on this with the custom box for shipping, and then the wooden box with the logo etched in it. And then those shirts are like insanely soft, buttery shirts that we threw in some socks and all that stuff. You don't, if you're using this is for my advocacy program. If you're thinking about like customer onboarding gifts, you don't have to spend a lot of money, because this is the time to create a small yet powerful send with your messaging, right? My favorite like onboarding thing that I ever saw sent was onboarding thing, that's a technical term, was a bag of jelly beans, right? All one color. So say like your logo has two colors. We're obviously big on like orange and turquoise. So it was a bag of Jelly Bellies, all orange, except one in the middle was turquoise, right? So it's like the messaging there is, can't wait for you to start standing out with Sendoso, insert product name, right? And it's just it's a cute, sweet, thoughtful, powerful message. And you sent them something. So my point is, what are those jelly beans like? $1.09, like it wasn't anything, and it still was like pretty impactful for the customer that did that. Okay, get back, we'll focus now. Okay, so hey, look at that, I run our customer reference program as well here at Sendoso. It is a well-oiled machine. Contact me if you want to build a simple yet effective program using Salesforce, Slack, Sendoso. That's all we do. So I do a double reward here. So I send a Sendoso choice when they take the call as a, thank you for your time. Thank you for talking to this prospect. And then when the deal closes, I'm rewarding them with a very upscale item like an Ember mug or a branded North Face. So they feel like they're a part of the team. And essentially they are. I mean, they're closing deals for us. And believe me, you can spend some money on these rewards because this is the easiest to report closed won revenue on, right? So I can't show the exact numbers, but I've influenced, in the millions of new business revenue, and the 209% ROI is encompassing all operating expenses, including headcount. So I can prove that just this program alone pays for me, pays for my team, pays for well worth, it's the greatest. It's one of my mic drop moments when I presented the all hands. Obviously, I get very excited about this. Okay, tips for sending. So I wanted to call this section like tips from an OG, because I do feel very experienced in this area. I have been strategically sending to customers since 2016, when I was sending custom bobbleheads to customers. Can we just take a moment for how much this bobblehead looks like the actual person? I'm sure that when he opened it, he gave him pause because it looks just like him. Anyway, I wanted to give you some tips. So if you're new to gifting in the customer journey, I'd start by asking your advocacy team if you could interview a few of these customers and see like what typically pulls them in, engages them. And while you have them, find out what they like. Oh, I meant to tell you that the form that I have, so we can kind of scale that, and so the CSMs can see it, is that it's a form that is in Zapier, and Zapier pushes it into Salesforce, so it has all that information in there. Okay, so where did I leave off here? So for more
crazy like the guy,
right? I know. I should go contact him on LinkedIn and see if he still has it. Have him take a picture side by side and post it. Okay, so for the second bullet, not everybody is me and markets to marketers and has the best time doing it. For a more serious audience, I tend to think that they are leaning more towards wanting to be educated on the platform. So anything you can send them through direct mail that speaks to making them a better user in your platform and education based is perfect, right? And then you pair that with a very classy swag item, whatever really goes well with your messaging. So they really appreciate the gift that you gave them because you're also providing value through educational content that you send. Okay, hit their heart. I don't care who you are. This came up because like everybody's like, what do we send to C-levels? And so when thinking about those types of personas, I like to think what's going to hit their heart. So I don't care who you are, a coordinator, a manager, head of the moon, who doesn't like their pets and their babies? So if you're putting together a bundle for C-level execs, you can, we've had our customers do bundles with like keep your kid busy with all of the stuff that they can open the box and really bond with their child on. One of these little piñatas filled with candy is always like super fun. C-levels love that. And then also similarly, the pet adoption rate jumped 34% during COVID. So if you create a dog bundle with like a branded bandana and some toys, that hits their heart. People love their dogs and their cats. Okay, to that point, bandanas are great, but when you are, it's a good segue into if you're thinking about what items to select in your bundle, make sure at least one thing is useful. Right. So maybe instead of that bandana, you're sending a portable dog bowl. And okay, getting away from like the pet bundle. If you're putting together a welcome kit for customers, think what is useful and has prime real estate, meaning something that's sitting on their desk, staring at them in the face all day. This is a great way to get your brand on their desks and stay top of mind. And then finally, well, no, I have one more after this. I actually added. If you creating an experience. So one of my customers, Bryce from MX, he markets to highly regulated industries. So people who cannot always accept gifts or can only accept gifts under $25. So he creates an experience with his direct mail sends. So how does he do that? So he spends money on the packaging. So think Apple, right? When you buy something from Apple, ooh, this is nice, right? Like the thick packaging, everything has its place in there, its little nook. In Bryce's bundle, there's a video that starts playing. It's actually placed perfectly. So when you open the box, it starts playing kind of like, what their platform does. And then it's actually an invitation to have a beer with the engineer who's featured in that video. And then also in the box is a beautiful branded beer stein, right? So how can you say no to that experience? The beer stein was under $25, but he spent the majority of his budget with these really sexy packaging. Okay, so the final thing I want to bring up and be mindful of is the current supply chain shortage. Okay, this is big this year. So this year, to do our part, we are leveraging our existing inventory at the very least, right? But we sourced some new holiday cards that fit perfectly inside of the bundle. So one of the huge advantages of Sendoso is the ability to mix and match your inventory year after year. So it's been really great. Well, I hope you found these use cases and tips helpful. I would obviously love to continue the conversation, so you can always email me. I'm going to pass it off to Mason to go into some awesome HubSpot things for you.
Well, Leslie, before we do that, I wanted to just throw this out there. I added up all of the more, for lack of a better word, easy to implement ideas. So not the Cindy's and not necessarily even the advocacy program. And based on the things that you've done, you've actually sourced over $775,000 and you've influenced over 1.3 million in just things that you can go and execute today using Sendoso. I think that is amazing.
Yeah, I know when you put it like that.
So if you are thinking through, maybe a Sendies event is not necessarily something you can go execute tomorrow or next week, but there are things you can do that will start to show the ROI that Sendoso can offer. So one of those things is a customer onboarding. So I'm going to walk through just a super quick example of how you can set up customer onboarding in HubSpot and leverage Sendoso. So what you want to do is you want to start in the beautiful Sendoso interface. So you're going to create a new touch. And with Sendoso, it's super easy to go and actually send what you want to be sent. So you just scroll down, you build your own box. So we have already sent over some things that are warehoused over in Sendoso. So we just pick our warehouse. Our CEO wrote a book, so we want to send them our book, maybe a Mojo branded blanket, really nice Yeti tumbler mug, maybe a ABM is B2B. We've got some custom tape that comes that it's got our Mojo brand on the tape. So even from the box showing up, it says Mojo Media Labs. We've got some crinkle paper. Maybe we want to send a t-shirt or another book. And hey, we're good to go. They're getting a ton of stuff in this onboarding kit. We're going to call it something like customer onboarding. Oh, name can't be blank. So sorry. Again, select warehouse. Oh, that's weird. This is what happens when you do a live demo. All right, next step. Perfect. So then from your touch type, you'll do integration. You can pick your funding source. So for example, at Mojo, we're using this for sales and marketing. We're using it to surprise and delight our existing clients, and we're using it for culture. So we have different funding sources so that everything stays nice and organized. You want to ask for their address, and I probably wouldn't send the package if you don't get the address, because it'll probably go to their company office, and if they haven't been to the office in a year and a half, it's going to be a box waiting for them that they won't get. And then really from there, again, you're going to go ahead and do next step. Pick your packing, standard packing, then next step. Here's where we get to the fun part. So you're going to pick HubSpot, workflow, then you just copy over your key touch. In the workflow setup, you can set up some other things. Honestly, if you're getting started with this, probably don't put in the contact enrollment triggers, just to do it a couple times with some select sales reps, and they can just make it a part of their normal workflow after a signature has come in. And then once you've gotten it and everybody loves the new onboarding process, you can then set it up to where it does automated. For us, we do customer, we do main point of contact, and we make sure that it was a deal that has been signed after a certain agreement date. So we actually, just for this example, chose today, so that hypothetically, it doesn't randomly send a box to a customer that signed an agreement 3 years ago as a part of an onboarding package. Then, again, you're going to put in the key touch, fill out all this information from HubSpot, click save, and then you can turn it on. You're good to go. And now it will go ahead and send automatically based on when somebody signs an agreement. So super easy to set up. And again, now when somebody signs an agreement with Mojo Media Labs, they're going to get a branded blanket, a branded mug, a box that has got our branded tape on the outside, a couple books that really educate the way that we think about marketing. So all in all, fantastic onboarding package. And in case you're wondering, this is actually what we send our clients. So if you sign an ongoing retainer with Mojo, this is what you get. If you sign on a project basis, we actually send the piñata. That's a Mojo teal. And we have a note that says, I really think we're hitting it off. And it has been so fun because we'll get photos of clients in their backyard breaking the piñata with their kids. So it's, again, a great way to really start off a client relationship really, really well. So I just wanted to show that really quickly to show you again how easy it is to get set up. I'm going to pass it back over to Leslie and we will do some Q&A. We've already got a couple questions that have come in, but if you've got any other questions regarding Sendoso, regarding HubSpot, regarding ways that you can actually do scalable sending, feel free to put those in the Q&A section and we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. So for starters, we actually did have a question from Rachel, who said, my team is interested in working with a company and solution that we can fund and recommend to their partners to target their own accounts on, really just target their own accounts. So what this question sounds like it's asking is, hey, Mason, hey, Leslie, we're looking for somebody that can really help us better leverage Sendoso from a strategic standpoint. Does Mojo work really well with Sendoso? The answer is yes. Not only are we formal partners with Sendoso, we have been actually helping clients implement Sendoso for ABM campaigns, for customer onboarding. We've got some really great success stories on our website, as well as there are 2 super senders that are a part of Leslie's advocacy customer base that work at Mojo. And I can attest, they love Leslie. They love they've been a part of some of the examples that she shared today, and they will not stop talking about the magic show. It's been like 3 months and Allison still brings it up.
Because it's great. It was so crazy. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it was David Blaine style.
Fantastic. Well, if we have any other questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. I know another question that we actually get very frequently is just how do we potentially leverage Sendoso in the sales process? So I know that Leslie, you focus on a lot of customer marketing, customer advocacy, but really the way that we've been using it over here at Mojo, some people will use it to incentivize just the connection meeting. Quite frankly, we personally have not seen that be as successful from an ROI standpoint. What we have seen work better is when someone is in the sales process and maybe they stall, they go dark, something happens, or you just want to reward them for continuing to move through the sales process. Once they've reached a certain point, we thank them for their time. We send them a Starbucks gift card for about $25 and just say, hey, we've really loved working with you so far. We'd really love to seal the deal. Or if somebody maybe, again, goes dark, the deal just kind of stalls, we will send a popcorn tin and we'll say, we're popping back in to see how things are going. We'd love to reconnect.
Love
and again,
that.
When we've done that, we actually start to see more deals re-engage and more people move through our pipeline.
Yeah, I saw one of our customers one time for deals that have gone dark, sent them a gourmet jar of pickles with the messaging with, haven't heard from you in a while and we can't deal with it. Oh no, it's pickles. We haven't heard from you in a while and we can't deal with it. I like that one. Yes, we're very punny over here. I would say we love the 2-part sends for cold prospects. So much like the renewal play that I had mentioned, like sending 2 things, right? So for cold prospects, really you want to keep that price point low. And then also depending on like your average deal size and how much money that you want to spend on direct mail. But one of our customers did a luggage tag. And remember, you can enable address confirmation to have these land on their desk wherever they are in the world. So it's a luggage tag. I think was only like $2, branded luggage tag. And then with a note that says like, we really want to, show you a demo. If you take a demo, then you'll receive the To-Me luggage or whatever, piece of luggage.
Wow.
So you can just like always get creative with like something that blends together and goes together and incentivize folks for getting on a demo.
Well, I think those are some fantastic ideas. I've not implemented a 2-part send. I think that's super smart.
Yeah.
So I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to give it, 30 more seconds. But Leslie, I want to say thank you for joining today. I think this was super helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing really some of the unique sends that people are going to start doing. Just really seeing the example that you provide. I love that it's not just, hey, here's some things that our customers have been doing, but hey, here are the things that we are doing, and we can verifiably show exactly how effective this is when we start to do marketing towards our existing customers.
For sure. Yeah. And anybody who wants to continue the conversations with me, I'm just Leslie at Sendoso. And I obviously love this stuff. So happy to chat.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a partner to help you leverage Sendoso, feel free to email me. I am mason.cosby@Mojo Media Labs. And we're both very active on LinkedIn. So feel free to find us on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect. All right. Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.